Oh, excuse me.
Hey, Roger, can you leave I guess the light on there is fine.
You don't, what do you need, just that area?
Yeah, if you could put the other lights on as well, that'd be great, just for background. Like, you can't put that Uni's logo, can you? I don't need a crew, but if they could stick that in there, that'd be awesome.
You need, Sarah, you need all the monitors?
Just that one.
She needs that monitor HK I punched up. She's doing something out here with Google. What, just your
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Great.
That's fine. She's going to be doing that today. She knows it. Show tomorrow. So. No, you don't need the big monitor, I don't guess. The huge screen.
No.
I guess you don't need your mic or your IFD either.
No, I don't.
What are you doing?
We're talking with the BBC.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
So, okay, sir.
And you won't remember, so I'll just take those back to your desk.
This is my guardian angel.
Well, I try, you know. And we Virgos are very persnickety.
Oh, actually, I will need those, Roger.
Really?
Yeah, because I have to listen to the Hangout. Oh, not the IFB, just these.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hi, Rama.
Hi, Sarah.
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you?
I'm doing fine. I'm going to go ahead and invite the rest. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
We're not streaming at the moment, are we?
Not at the moment. We aren't.
Okay, fine.
And is there anything you want to talk about before we start?
I had a few questions. Are you? Yeah. Sorry, 1 second.
Sure. Can you join?
What through? But then this is not connected.
I
Is it?
need you and either Jen or me to share.
Okay,
Yeah.
One missing. That one that I was going to put the camera with. Sorry, just give me a mo, sir.
Sure, absolutely.
Where was that cable? Was it that one?
You can if you want to, but I always figure out you have a long day. I do have a long day, you know, and I don't mind as long as I'm here. Enjoy your now 3 times. Yeah, I can do it every day because I know I've been here how long? Not much, long. So unless something, drastic comes up, I'll wait.
Here we go again, take two.
Wow.
Hey gang, just getting some things set up here.
Stand by.
Hey, Shaka, how are you?
Hey, Joseph, I'm doing well. How about you?
I thought you were on vacation this week.
I am. I'm on staycation this week.
What a guy.
Yeah, I'm just, hanging out. I'm around, and this sounded very interesting.
Yeah, good man, good man. Hello, Rama.
Hello.
Very nice afternoon in Missouri with a high temperature at 55, but tonight that all comes to an end. One would anticipate weather moving in. Up to an inch of accumulation is possible by the time you head to work.
Yeah, the studio's so noisy, I can hear the weather.
Down to a chilly low of 21 tomorrow morning, and a high
Sure.
on your Thursday only 26.
Yeah, the studio is hot, so I can hear you now. He's got one more update to go, but is there anything else that you would like to talk about before I post this out?
Yes, okay, so I wanted just to quickly run through the format.
Mm-hmm.
So who have we got here? Perhaps you could...
We'll have some more. Hassan Shabir is from Pakistan. Joseph is from New York. Shaka, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Hello, my name is Shaka Armstrong. I'm out here in Southern California. I work at Fox 11, which is one of the local Fox affiliates here in Southern California. I handle social media over there, among a bevy of other things.
Nathan is our producer. I'm going to go ahead and mute him because he's walking around the newsroom, but he is our producer, and Jen Reeves will also be joining us, and Stacy Wolfel.
Did you invite me? I didn't get
Can you hang with me?
Yeah, I can't hear, but you can.
Yeah, I can. This is Stacy Wolfel. He's our news director.
We're close here.
And we're going to be doing it that way.
Hello.
Okay. So what I was going to do is, so the shot is of me. The first shot will be of me just saying hello to everybody, and if at that point you could just wave. I won't do the kind of individual introductions, if that's all right. And then maybe if I can throw to Sarah, and we can start with a few questions from you, Sarah, and maybe you could just say we've got whoever we've got in the Hangout, if you could introduce them. And then I've got 3 questions for Sarah, and then I've got a question for your producer, Nathan, about the production process. Then I'd like to go to one co-host about what you think of this whole kind of so either Hassan or Joseph about why you take part, what you get from it, that kind of thing. The video is going to be quite tight. It's only the end ender. It's probably only going to be about 5 minutes, so we kind of want to keep a pace and make it quite choppy. And then if we come to you, Stacey, about why you've kind of taken these, made these a part of your broadcast, and why you think they're important, and also anything about any figures about whether it's amounted in more audience or more engagement or whatever kind of in terms of metrics what you can provide would be great.
Okay.
And then we may well come back to another co-host as well. What was your name? Shaka?
Yes.
Have you been using these in Fox as well, or?
Absolutely. We've been using them off air, but we've been using them to connect with viewers in that in that regard, and then we're going to actually be moving them on air pretty soon.
Okay. All right. Okay. So maybe towards the end we may well be able to come to you as well, and you can say as much of why you want to move them on air, for example. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sarah or Stacey or Nathan, would either of you be able to tell me, because I know you've got a new format of the program, haven't you? Or
Right.
There's been a change since I was last on. So what are the changes?
We're at 11 a.m. essentially, and we're a 30-minute show instead of an hour-long show. Nothing else really has changed. We're still the interactive format. We still anchor it and co-host it with a live cyber couch. We still use social media in the lower third of the screen, and still floating between all of those platforms during the newscast and allowing the people in our Hangouts to comment about the day's news.
Okay, so, fair enough. So that in terms of, there's not necessarily any change in terms of format or anything. Okay, that's fine. Okay, if I could maybe just do a quick sound check on everybody's. Can you all hear me fine?
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Good to go here.
Okay. So, Hassan, could you just say a few words so I can see how you sound?
Okay, hello, this is me, and I'm saying something, and can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Joseph?
Perfect.
Live from New York, it's Joe Puglisi.
And Jen and Nathan, is that right?
Yep, we're here.
Hi. We're here.
Right, can't hear you guys, but is that because...
Oh, that's not good.
Great.
Maybe we have to talk this way without the headphones.
Might have to. Is this working better?
Or is it echoing?
And there's a horrible delay.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't seem delayed on my end, but maybe it's just the across the pond nature.
No, but you're okay, Sarah.
Wow.
That's a bit bizarre. Say something more, Nathan or Jen.
Do you want to try your office? Would that work better?
Yeah, we can move to a different wireless location in the same building. We can try that.
Okay, no, actually you're fine for now. But you know what? You might want to. Can you turn that television off behind you or not?
Oh,
really?
sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit distracting.
Yeah, and Nate, I would suggest if it's at all possible, wire. Wire will be much better than wireless.
True. I'll see if I can find a cord.
Might be
You can
one.
go in my office.
Or just pull one out of one of those PCs in there.
Yeah, I just found one. I got it. There you go.
Oh, to be honest,
Turn this off here.
And Kim Beasley might be joining us en route as we start here.
Oh, we're good. All right, can you guys hear us any better, and is it any clearer now?
yes, that sounds better actually.
All right, cool.
Yeah, much better. Okay, cool. All right. Oh yes, there was one other thing which we could do after the Hangout, if you like, is that because I don't actually have access to Google Hangouts on Air, so I needed a screen grab of the initial page when you know when you start the Hangout and you send out your invites. If somebody wouldn't mind sending me a screen grab of that initial, that would be really helpful.
Later on after this ends?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get you that or anything else you need.
Probably working on it.
This is Mike Downs from the UK as well. I think you guys know each other.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Okay.
Hey, Rama.
Hello. Okay, so I think that's it. So what we'll do now, you set? Yeah. Okay. So we're set on our end, and so I'll just start by saying hello team, and I'll say thank you, and then I'll say to Sarah if you wouldn't mind introducing everybody in the Hangout, and then we'll start the interview process. And if I don't come to everybody, please forgive me. We'll do a short, sharp interview first, and then we may come back to everybody afterwards. If that's all right.
Gotcha. We are streaming live.
Okay, great. So this is a Google Plus Hangout by KOMU. Let's meet the KOMU team. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey, great to see you, Rama. Glad to be here.
Sarah, introduce the people in the Hangout for me, would you please?
Okay. I'll have them introduce themselves, probably from left to right. They are used to this. Hassan?
Hello, I am Hassan Shabir, and I am from Karachi, Pakistan.
Joseph?
Hi, I'm Joe Puglisi from the New York metro area.
Mike?
Hi everyone, I'm Mike Downs and I'm from England in Warwickshire at the moment.
Jen and Nathan?
Hey guys, I'm Nathan Higgins here in Columbia. I'm the producer for U News.
And I'm Jen Reeves. I'm the interactive director at KOMU.
My name is Sarah Hill. I'm the host of U News at 11.
I'm
and this is
Stacy
my boss.
Wolfel, news director here at KOMU-TV.
Tashaka?
I'm Shaka Armstrong. I do social media at Fox 11 in Los Angeles, California.
Kempton Lamb?
Hello, hi, this is
yourself?
Kempton Lam from Calgary, Canada. I'm a freelance reporter, and I do a whole bunch of other things.
All right, Rama, and that's our group.
Thank you. Sarah, I think the first question is a very innovative approach to a broadcast, having a Google Plus Hangout within your broadcast. Can you tell us why you've taken this approach of using Google Plus Hangouts within broadcasting, and how's it going so far?
It was actually a suggestion from Jen Reeves, who you'll hear from in a moment. And back in July, when the format first came out as far as the platform, we decided what would it be like to open up a laptop on our news set and allow viewers the chance to come inside and interact with us essentially during the newscast. So we opened up a laptop and were surprised at the world that flooded inside during the news. And it was a really neat moment for us because for the first time ever, we were able to see our audience. Of course, we had been, live tweeting or Facebook posting behind the scenes of the newscast, but never had we been able to connect with our viewers face-to-face in real time during the news. We were reading stories, and we wear two earpieces, so I've got my producer Nathan in one ear and then the Hangout in the other ear, and we would read a story, about a child that was murdered or something like that, and we would hear the Hangout react in our ear. So that was a really neat experience for us to have that reaction, that audience interaction, essentially in real time. Jen, do you want to add on anything? I mean, obviously that's a very simple explanation.
Well, I've always been passionate about finding ways to connect with our audience. Journalists, that's our job. And so this is just a fabulous way to extend what we've always wanted to do. And it's just so fast, so easy, and convenient. Many, many computers have a camera on it. So we've been able to reach out and expand our view of the news way beyond just our local market now. You can see just from the people who are here talking.
Jen, I mean, you may know this, but a lot of people are saying Google Plus is not a big deal. A lot of people are saying, it's the early adopter community. It's not something that's going to catch on. So why are you deciding, or you and the team deciding to invest time in this platform? And what do you see as its future?
Well, I was in Twitter long before anyone thought Twitter was legitimate. I think it's so funny that everyone has decided Google isn't legit when Twitter wasn't for years, really. I think Google's growth has been mind-blowing for a young social media resource. I also think that its tools and ability to connect are slick. They're very slick. Look what we're doing right now. And so I saw its legitimacy pretty quickly, and more people will see that, I think, and expect, and it has been growing consistently. So I think it's a wait and see, but in the meantime, we're able to use some of the tools it offers already, and I'm going to keep watching it.
And the difference between this social network and any other is that this is the first face-to-face social network, and in no other social network have we been able to have group conversations within a social network, within a crowdsourcing tool. So that's why it's unique for us, and we in television are embracing it because we can bring the viewers into us to contribute to the conversation and contribute to the news in a very easy way and enable them to go live with us as well out during breaking news stories.
Sarah, it strikes me that your role as a presenter is changing. Just as we're talking, you're making sure the right people are muted because they're bringing in, noise into the Hangout. You've got an earpiece. There's a lot going on here. It strikes me a lot of presenters will be looking at you and thinking, my gosh, my role has become more complicated, more challenging. Now that there's another new piece of technology that they have to contend with. How has your experience been, and what tips can you offer?
My advice would be to become comfortable in the chaos. And really it's an organized chaos in a way, co-hosting a show with 10 different people from around the world. Obviously, the ability to multitask, but we as news anchors, I call them news buoys because they're essentially floating around at the top on all of these different platforms, kind of as a beacon to the passing ships that are in the news channel and saying, hey, come look and see what our content is below. And I think that is the future news anchor, news buoy, if you will, is that they are on all of those platforms trying to bring people in to the content. And to me, I think that's the future.
One interesting thing you didn't mention is that the anchor's job begins long before the broadcast and goes on after, which was a change. You could say an anchor could come in, prepare for a few minutes, go out, read the show, and then go to dinner right after. And so Sarah spends a lot of time setting up the show, the hangouts, the interaction, and then doesn't put it to bed right away, has to deal with it afterwards too. Wants to deal with it.
Yeah, there are no deadlines now. It's pretty much there's always a deadline, and there's always somebody who can provide you a great news tip or a great insight into news that's going on in their world as well.
So that's quite a challenge then.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only a time challenge, but you become a central portal of information for your brand. People more and more are wanting to connect with a personal brand more so than they are with the logo brand. So Tshaka is shaking his head, and I'm sure he can sympathize with this. When you do that, no longer are people calling the TV station when they need the information. They are DMing you on all of the different social sites, sometimes all of the sites that you're on, and then you are a resource for that station. That is great news. Why? Because the viewer sees you as a point of access for that information, and will probably also see you as a point of access for the news. But it can be a time sucker, correct, Tshaka?
Absolutely. You not only are they coming to you for information, but they're also sharing information with you. So now not only are you disseminating information, but now you're having to act on incoming information and see if it is actionable. Somebody says, hey, there's a lockdown going on at this college campus. You've got to go to your assignment desk and say, hey, guys, I just got this tip. Do you want to check it out and see what's going on, if they don't already know about it? So it's definitely something that requires time, and I think it's definitely something that as time goes on, I hope that we'll see newsrooms that will understand that more resources should be shifted to utilizing social media as a news gathering and an assignment desk resource.
Stacey, on that very point about resources, and also about the fact that if the attention is being focused to the anchor, what does that mean for news organizations? I mean, if essentially, if the brand journalist is all that matters, what does it mean for broadcasters like yourself?
I think the first thing we thought about, and certainly has lived up to this, is that it's not, the anchors aren't interchangeable, and it's not for everyone. Not that somebody can't be trained to do this, but I think Sarah was the perfect choice to begin this for us because she had a passion for the platform, traveling the platform. She had a passion for interacting with viewers, and so you can't just drop anybody in on this, at least not initially. Now, there's other talent here who have come up and trained and have done the UNews show and have done it well, and so you almost need a leader out there to figure out, to help invent it. Jen and Nathan have played a big role in that behind the scenes to do that, so that's a big part. Now, in terms of resources, and as we just heard, it's a matter of integrating what you're learning on all these platforms and through these other interactions in your normal news gathering, and we're many years past when we would just focus on the 6 o'clock newscast or the 10 o'clock newscast, but now this 24-hour cycle of feedback from sources, citizen journalists, interested parties, PR people, however it's coming in, really is a change for us to figure out how to funnel that through to the right people. I think we've been somewhat successful, but I think we have a long way to go.
And you speak of resources. This, by the way, is a free satellite truck attached to a crowdsourcing tool. This is absolutely free.
Okay. Nathan, can I come to you about producing a program which involves a Google Plus Hangout? I mean, how do you go about vetting or moderating? And also, isn't this quite time-consuming for you? You've got a program to produce, but now you've also got a Google Plus Hangout to produce as well. So talk us through your role.
Sure. I mean, I'm not as active in the Hangout. I'm usually in there just trying to help moderate it. Jen also helps out with that at times, but obviously it kind of adds just another thing to do in the control room, which is always a little hectic just because, you're trying to get the deadline, make sure all the stories are in, make sure all the reporters are in the right places and all the information's there. And then you kind of have this second monitor to the right. So honestly, if I'm back in the control room, you see me kind of just scooting back and forth from monitor to monitor, one of them being my laptop where the Hangout is. So it adds another level of just kind of interaction. Just trying to keep it on track. So at times it's easier for me to do, sometimes it's not. And obviously Sarah's great about kind of keeping them in check and all that. But I don't really get to listen or talk in the Hangout just because of all the audio issues that would kind of come with that. But it's definitely a new challenge. It's a new task. And Sarah's always great about booking people, and that's kind of something I'll start taking over too, is just booking people. So that's another issue where it's just, we want to try to find people, Mid-Missourians who are going to have something to come and say, whether it's an event or whether it's something, a cause that they want to talk about. So that kind of adds another challenge of just trying to find where that content comes from, and that's definitely been evolving as we come along with news.
I remember, Sarah, when we spoke last time, you mentioned the fact that in the early days you would have like a hangout before the broadcast to basically get to know everybody and decide what you were going to talk about. Tell us a little bit about that sort of pre-production process.
Mm-hmm. We have a green room of sorts, and basically the way that we found our first 80 individuals, many of them are in this hangout right now. We started with an original group of approved 80 people. We called them FCC approved, meaning that they would keep it clean during the broadcast. The green room was the laptop that we opened up during the news set. And invited anybody in. That laptop did not go on the air, but it allowed us to connect with viewers and hear their stories and bring them into the newscast. So that was the vetting process, I guess, so to speak, because you can't just open up a public hangout and put that on the air. You have to have some connections and know the individuals to bring in. And tell you what, we got so lucky. The people, those original 80, have enriched our lives more than we could ever fathom, and the stories that they bring are incredible. So that's just a little bit of the process as far as the pre-work that goes on. Early on, we communicated with our guests and co-hosts via Google Docs because obviously we're chatting with 10 different ones from all over the world, so we would post stories in Google Docs and communicate that way. Also before the show, we have a pre-show, like 30 minutes before the show, 20 minutes before the show, where we talk about we call it a show in the United States, but we talk about what we're going to discuss, who's going to talk when, rules of the Hangout, mute your mic when you're not talking, silicone keyboards so we don't hear your typing noise, that kind of thing. And our original 80 then has served as mentors to others when they come into the Hangout. They tell them what to expect and that kind of thing. So it's really been helpful effort. I mean, we are small market television, and they have been extensions of what we do. Even scheduling, Kempton helped out with scheduling as well, and they created documents that was a guide for other viewers also willing and eager to be in a hangout that told them the rules on how they should operate and etiquette behavior.
Yeah. And I actually can, I experienced that when I first had an appearance on your program. I think Mike and Kempton were sending me Google Docs and doing a little practice one with me, because I think the very, very first time you're taking part in a hangout, which then is going to be live, is a bit weird, quite frankly. And so I could see how, people essentially you haven't paid, are kind of, pre-producing me to feature on your program. So that was really quite an unusual thing to experience. But I'd love to, speak to Joseph or Kempton, Mike and Kim about, your experiences. I mean, quite frankly, Joseph, why do you do it? Why do you want to be a part of the Hangout on KOMU? And what value?
It's a great question, Rama, and the reason that I've done it is that business and technology has been my profession. For the last several years, I've been a student of social media, and I have latched on to Google Plus, and in particular the secret sauce, which I think are these Hangouts. I was fortunate enough to be included in Sarah's inner circle early on, which gave me the opportunity to participate in the UNews show and learn all about journalism. And I see journalism evolving. I think Sarah hit it absolutely on the spot on when she said that it's all about a heightened level of engagement with the audience.
Okay. And what about you, Mike? I mean, you're based in England, so quite selfishly, I ask you. You know, I know for a fact that Google Plus is still quite American. A lot of people, whilst there is people all over the world, it is still quite American-centric. It is quite new. It is quite geeky. What are you getting from it, and why do you take part?
I think, Rama, that's a great question. I think what I'm getting is the worldwide appeal, because I'm in the Midlands in Warwickshire, so I was, a citizen journalist, ex-teacher, blogging to the local area, and on Twitter even had hundreds of followers, and that's gone absolutely to like thousands on Google Plus. And for me, from meeting Sarah at the start of September, it's allowed me to really get to a much larger audience. And what the awesome thing is, echoing Joseph there, this is the face-to-face, is that I found it amazingly personal. And I think the reason I'm still here, and we used to have the old joke of hanging out 25 hours a day, is that you can do it on so many different levels.
Okay. Stacey, if I could come to you before perhaps speaking to the others, is so, a lot of people are getting to talk to people from all over the world. I mean, that's a wonderful appeal that we are connecting face to face. So in Twitter, we're connecting by 140 characters. Here, we can actually see each other, we can read each other's expressions, which sound, which for me is something that's quite interesting. Mm-hmm. What about in terms of figures? Have your audience figures gone up? Has there been increased traffic to your website? There'll be a lot of managers in particular biting my ear to find out that kind of information. So what can you share?
Mm-hmm. I think anecdotally I would say that the engagement level is higher than when the show started, than before the show started, that we've got an engagement with regular people. You see some of them here, but also local people that we see a lot on Facebook and interacting with us on Twitter. A lot of it is built around personalities, and people seem to be much more interested in connecting with Sarah or our other anchors personally than with just the KOMU brand. We're doing both, and we've seen growth in both areas, but we see that with the personal anchors because they get a chance to connect right there. On the air, the audience numbers are still small, and at the 4 o'clock time period, we had an audience there. It was not a huge audience. We're at the 11 a.m. time period now, and seeing if we can build that up. But part of that is making this be interesting to local people as well as this worldwide audience, and to make it work both online and over the air, which is still the television station's main business.
What about hits to your website? I mean, will that become important to you at all?
It's always important, and I think we're driving people to the website, but it's not just the KOMU.com website, it's the social media platforms where we see that. You're up to how many people on Facebook with you personally?
We get friend requests about 100 a week. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that has increased exponentially. And again, those are portals to our content. Anytime your social media following goes up, that's portals to the website and everything else.
Looking at traffic to the web page, to the KOMU.com web page, I have seen it go up. We've made some changes in that page, and that may be responsible for some of it as well. But we can see we posted a story. There was a small breaking news story on Christmas Day. We posted it Christmas morning, and I was surprised to see that it had several hundred views in just an hour or so, a time when you think viewership and usership of the site would be low. And so I think we've trained people to go look for that content there, and this platform has helped with that a lot.
And one of our most viewed stories on our website, which was like several 100,000 or 400,000, which for us in small market television is a lot, was a story that we did in a Google Plus Hangout. About the Oslo bombings that had a broad reach. So that brought a lot of traffic into the website as well.
Okay. Shaka, can I ask you, you're wanting to introduce Hangouts to your broadcasts as well. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, I've always kind of had a very holistic view on life and business, especially as it relates to blending traditional broadcast journalism with new media. And so I think that we can take these various platforms and we can take our traditional channels of broadcast, and when we successfully synergize the two, I really do think we can not only connect with stories on our hyper-local level, but we can also really broadcast, because we can take a local news station and then, like Sarah talked about with the Oslo bombing, provide a big picture, provide an international story to our local audience, and by the flip side of the coin, you can take your local breaking news, which may have a larger impact, and provide a local context to a story that may have a national or international interest. Besides that, I also, just looking at trends and the whole notion that we are having a convergence, where everybody thought we were going to have all these separate screens, but we're seeing that we're going to have converged devices eventually, where maybe your main viewing will be done from your TV screen in your living room, but your computer, your social media, everything will be able to connect to that TV. And so I think we have to start now creating opportunity for people to become more comfortable interacting with news product, whether that's enterprise stories, whether that is breaking news we have to get them comfortable interacting with us on multiple platforms. So it's not just broadcasting through the cable channel or through our local or through our over-the-air HD antennas, but it's also broadcasting through our live stream, broadcasting through the Hangout. All these, I think, are opportunities to grab people and have them connect with a station's content. And so I think the thing that we have to be able to do is just be able to justify the use of resources and time to creating an audience across the multiple platforms, so that we're not just saying, okay, well, we've got this TV audience, but now we're also saying we're pulling in millions of people to our website, and we've increased our numbers because people are looking now for those stories that have a local context. And again, content is king. So as a news organization, we still have to produce good content that'll draw people in. But I think that we can see that across the platform. And then for me, what the most interesting part is something called second screen that a lot of people in the TV business are talking about, and that's providing an augmented experience to people that augments your primary content. So somebody can be watching, and like what Sarah did in the beginning was exactly that. Somebody's sitting there watching her broadcast, and then you've got a whole group of people who are watching her broadcast, but then they're sitting in their living room interacting with her through their computer, laptop, or cell phone. And to me, that kind of inside baseball, that's fun stuff. I'm a total geek, and that's like awesome. But I think we can broaden that and move it just from local news to a much broader, to American Idols or America's Got Talent, all these shows. I think everybody should be providing a second screen experience like that.
I want to jump into. Can I jump in on the content from Rachel? I think content it's king, and it's going to be a big level playing field. Smaller area television station can compete equally or even better. It depends on the content than some, I guess, national brand like that. So it doesn't matter where the station is. It's the content that draws people. And in some sense, I've seen newspaper in Hong Kong. They have their own quote-unquote television crew. Basically, I mean, it's a video camera with a reporter. Now they're competing with television station. And in Hong Kong, in the case of Hong Kong, Apple Media, which own the next animation, where you see all those funny animation, that media group, they are competing with television station already. And I see the next step is for citizen journalists, for people who are interested in a specific area, to actually do their own report. I'll take our last local election, for example, the Calgary election. I was very unsatisfied with the reporting from all our local television stations. And I looked at the Hangout platform, and with Hangout On-Air, interested journalists or people who form their own company or whatever, they can actually have their mobile phone going out on various riding and whatnot, and do live report much better than what been done by television station, because we're not restricted by airtime. I mean, they can. Something I don't understand is they have the cameras crew there. They could already pipe the report on their channel, on the internet website, but they don't do it. And so I take that as an example where I think the technology we have here is a major leveling the playing field for different players.
That's a very interesting point. I mean, Kim, do you want to add anything from your experience of using Google Plus Hangouts, and why is it changing the way you consume news, and is it important to you that this is that you are a part of the news?
Yes, I definitely do want to add in. I am a social media person, and I'm on social media all day. Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Facebook, all of them. And the thing I found out about Google Plus is that in the 6 months I've been on Google Plus, my numbers, and this is the number of people that I have related to in real life, not just the number of people who have circled me, but the people that I have built relationships with, are greater on Google Plus than they are on the other social media websites. And I feel that it's due to the Hangout feature, in the sense that in real life, meetups can happen in Hangouts and not just in person. And the way that newscast services can use this is that you can connect with your viewers, not just going to them, but you can bring them to you and get their opinion. I have been been fortunate enough to connect with Sarah, not only in the Hangout, but I've even connected with her in real life where I've been to her home. And the only way that happened was because I connected with her in a Hangout. She got to know me, and she realized that I am a person that can be trusted to meet her in real life in her home. So do you want to bring real life feeling into your newscast and connect with your viewers that way? And if so, yes, Google Plus Hangouts is the perfect way to do it. It's not just about connecting with people and saying, hey, we have this many people on our business page, or this many people have circled me on Google Plus. It's about building relationships that last, building relationships that have meaning, connecting with people that you have only maybe heard of. I've been in Hangouts with the Google team. I've been in Hangouts with Dale, with Michael Dale. I've been in so many different Hangouts with people that I've only heard of. Well, your viewers want to connect with you. So what better way than through a Hangout? They can connect with you. You can see them, and they can see you, and they can feel more connected with you and build a relationship with you.
Okay. All right. Well, my final question then, perhaps to Jen, if that's okay, Jen, is, these Hangouts on Air are a beta facility at the moment. How are they more important than the regular Hangouts? And what do you see the future of these Hangouts? I mean, are you going to make any changes to the way you use them within your own programming, or have you had any thoughts about what's next and any developments?
Sure. As the broadcast on air, I think being able to have anybody watch what we're doing right now is very, very powerful. It gives us the ability to make this less geeky. Really, this makes it more real for anyone to be a part of it and to see it and to comment. I know Sarah has seen a lot of people live commenting underneath this player on her page. I would love to make it easier to see these embedded in other websites, not just on Google+. Once that happens, we have made a huge advancement of the usefulness of a Google Plus Hangout that's being on the on-air Hangout. I think that as this becomes more portable, as Google Plus becomes more portable, as the API is released and more people can do very creative things with the tool, it will become even more legitimate. I look forward to more people having access to Hangouts on Air. It's under Sarah's account right now. I'd love for KOMU to be able to, we do have a brand that I'm in charge of helping run, so I'd like to see an on-air Hangout on KOMU. I think those are very big deal things for broadcast, and not just broadcast, anybody who wants to use the power of Hangouts.
Thank you. Sarah, thank you so much for allowing us in to your show and meeting the team and the co-hosts. It's been very, very interesting, and we are looking forward to where the future goes and where the future of news goes and whether or not Hangouts is a part of it.
It's our pleasure, and we're looking forward to sharing this experience with other TV stations as well, because, like I say, deep level of engagement, not just with viewers in your market, but from all around the world. Deep, deep, deep levels of engagement from this very box.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.